used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play it against sports at 48th and Vine.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Nutrition Authority invites you to check out Renew PM, the ultimate nighttime recovery formula. Fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up refreshed. Renew PM can only be found at Nutrition Authority, the home of better than internet pricing. Own the night with Renew PM. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Baumgars has a loyalty shopping event this Saturday. Loyalty Rewards members can save $50 on their purchase of $200 or more. You heard that right. Spend $200 or more on any merchandise of your choosing in the store, so no gift cards, and you'll save $50 instantly. The $200 spend is pre-tax and cannot be combined with other discounts or offers. Not a loyalty member? Just sign up today. It's all happening at Baumgars this Saturday only.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop! Woohoo!
Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the day before a game. Does it feel like that to you, Jake? Does it feel like the day before a game?
It does to me because I've been waiting. I feel like it's been such a long week since they played that game on Friday.
So we got an extra day. We got the home field advantage. Do you think that matters? Is that going to play like a role in this game at all? What are your thoughts on that real quick before we dive into this? By the way, we got a couple of clips. You want to hear about O-line talk? I got a guy who can talk O-line talk. Mr. Rob Zadiska talked about it on his show he put out after the Minnesota game. We got was it about 4-minute clip? Are we allowed to play such lengthy clips? I thought it was good, so we're going to play it. He's dropped some good knowledge. I mean, this is a guy who's not only incredibly smart, 4.0, doctor, all that good stuff. Went to school for 4,000 years, and now he is helping people stay knocked out. He's an anesthesiologist. Likes to knock people out for a living. When you just leave it at that with no context, it brings me great joy and humor. But obviously one of the best offensive linemen, part of the original pipeline, 1994. So we're going to play that clip, chat a little bit about the offensive line, Dylan RAIOLA. Now, he started off really, really well all the way up through the Michigan game, threw 3 touchdowns against Michigan. He was the first quarterback to do so in like 5 years, by the way. His last 3 games haven't been like awful, but they haven't been the same. They've not been the same, from multiple picks to a rough QBR, et cetera, et cetera. So he needs a little bit of like a bounce back game, not in the aspect of, oh my gosh, he's completely just been horrible. No, nothing like that. Like his second half of the season last year, let me see if I can get this right. He had a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. Like every touchdown he threw 2 interceptions. Like he's not on that pace right now. But he needs to have a little bit of bounce back game tomorrow. Nebraska as a whole needs a bounce back game tomorrow. The program does. The state needs it. The program needs to do it, and it starts with the quarterback. We have built our team around the quarterback. So it starts with the quarterback. It starts with the quarterback as a general rule in football. Some teams more than others. Look at this team. Look at who we brought in the transfer portal. Look at what positions we focused on in the transfer portal. Look at what we do offensively. Look at how we do things. It's built around the quarterback. So it starts with him even more so than most teams. Did I ask you a question and go on a diatribe, or did I ask you a question? Yeah, I kind of, what happened there?
I don't think you asked me. I think I answered the question you asked me.
That's right. That's what it was. I felt like you had more to say. I think that's what it was. I was going to come back to you, and then I got distracted. All right, as tends to happen sometimes with me every show and every day. Did you have anything else you wanted to add before we dive into? We got clips, we got O-line talk, we got Northwestern talk, we got Dylan RAIOLA talk, all sorts of good stuff. You got anything else?
Well, you did actually ask. Now that I think about it, you asked about the home
yes,
field advantage.
I did.
Right?
See,
yeah.
Come on.
If that was going to help Nebraska, I'm intrigued. You talk about the 11 a.m. kickoff. Usually, that's kind of tough to get people going. Certainly, if Nebraska gets rolling, it can help. But I mean, I think after last week's performance, if that first quarter doesn't start off well, it might almost work against Nebraska. You kind of get the grumblings around the stadium. So I'm interested to see how that works. Like, because it is that early kickoff doesn't give you as much of an advantage as a night kickoff would here in Lincoln. And again, I think it could almost turn on Nebraska if they're not doing well. And especially, I've said all week, I think what's frustrating people about that game in particular against Minnesota, I mean, you could take a loss, you can, all this stuff. It's the physicality, the lack of physicality. Somebody coming in and out physicaling Nebraska. And I'll go back to it. Matt Rule said a couple of weeks ago, this isn't the old Big Ten West schedule anymore. They just got absolutely Big Ten Wested up in the Twin Cities. And there's another Big Ten West style team coming in here. They better be ready for the Big Ten West.
They Big Ten Wested all over us. And they Minnesoted all over us. Are we getting Nebraska all over Northwestern? Because they're going to try to Northwestern all over us. How are we going to respond? Are we going to take it to them? Are we going to initiate it with them? We got home field. I don't care what time. I don't care if this is a 2 a.m. kick, 2 p.m. kick. I don't care. There was some West Coast team I was watching last week, and they were playing at like 11 Central. I think I got this flipped. I think it was a East Coast team playing out on the West Coast. Was it Michigan, Washington? Was that last week?
That was last week at 11.
And it was really late at night. You know what the Washington people said to Michigan? We don't care. You know what Michigan did? They came in and they curb stomped them. Michigan got dominated by USC. They went back to the drawing board. It's interesting. I was listening to Joel Klatt's evaluation of what Michigan did different versus Washington than they did versus USC, because they curb stomped Washington after getting curb stomped by USC. Joel Klatt said, you know what they did? They went back and they solved their own Rubik's Cube. In other words, the Rubik's Cube they've solved a million times. They left unsolved and they went back to, he said, you know what they did? They blocked, they tackled, they established the run. They set up the play action pass. Their true freshman quarterback who runs great, can throw great, hasn't been efficient yet this year, was insanely efficient. And all of a sudden, boom, they look like Michigan again. Kind of sounds like something I'd like Nebraska to do. That's why it stuck out to me. I was like, let's go back to solving the Rubik's Cube that we left unsolved, even though we've solved it before. Block, tackle, run the ball. We did it against Maryland, by the way. Set up the play action pass, short passes, get the ball out of Dylan's hand quick. Michael Severe comes on here and he's like, hey, there's some coaches who aren't, completely thrilled inside there. And he kind of hinted at, they want Dylan to be coached harder. And I brought up Tom Brady. Nobody got coached harder by Bill Belichick. Like, I legit had guys come in our locker room at the Rams after they were with the Patriots, like, Belichick would just rip into him like a monkey on a cupcake. My words, okay? My interpretation of their words. Basically, he would yell at Brady in front of everybody, more than anybody, which meant everybody was free game to be coached the best way Belichick saw. And there's some coaches that would like that more for Dylan. What does that mean? How different is that? I don't know. Dylan said he wants to be coached hard. So that matches too. Can't help but wonder if everybody on that offensive staff is on the same page. I can't help but, like last year, the defensive staff was not on the same page. They weren't. I know that for a fact. I can't help but wonder, is the offensive staff on the same page this year? Just wondering. All right. You got the clip ready? And I have a Nick Saban clip ready too. Well, I sent you the clip. Is it ready?
It is ready.
All right. You're always ready to go. In between your world famous snaps.
That's right.
I'm just kidding. All right, ladies and gentlemen, real quick before we dive into all of this, light this candle. As a former Husker, an NFL player, I'm a bit of a health nut. Hydration recovery start at home. That's why you should team up with Culligan of Lincoln. Soft water means better showers, cleaner dishes, and protects your water heater and appliances. Their high-efficiency softener cuts salt and water usage. For drinking, add a Culligan reverse osmosis, a bottled quality water right at your tap. Great taste and is certified to reduce tough contaminants like lead and PFAs. Right now, get up to $300 off a whole home system or just $9.95 a month for your first 3 months. Schedule a free water test at CulliganHuskers.com. Again, that's CulliganHuskers.com. Culligan of Lincoln, water you love. Go Big Red. Let's do this. Let's start with the offensive line. And Donovan RAIOLA is brought up in this conversation. So let's go ahead and let's roll this clip. Now, I'll be honest with you, in an effort to keep this a little bit shorter, it is 4 minutes, but it's very, very good. The original thing I wanted to roll was like 6 minutes. So Travis Justice, you won't hear as much in this. Does a great job as Rob Zadika's co-host on the Doc Talk podcast. He's much more definitive on Donovan, and he's not really on his side. But you don't hear that, but I'm trying to keep this clip a little bit shorter, so to speak, relatively speaking. But hear what Rob has to say. Go ahead and roll that clip there, Jake.
That position group is not improving at all.
And it's one of those things where you look at the guys they have, and some of this has to fall a little bit on recruiting. How do you not have somebody? And again, I apologize for drifting back to the 90s, but it's kind of one of those. Here's where I know the personnel because it's guys I played with, and I'm thinking about how do you go from an era where you've got Brian Borboom to Zach Wiegert to Eric Anderson, you got Lance Lumberg to me to Chris Dishman to Adam True to just Fred Pollock to just there was always another guy. Somebody could get hurt. It's like I go out of a game, you're going to put Chris Dishman in there. Great. Here's another 10-year NFL guy, played with the Cardinals for a decade. How did we have? He's a freaking Cozad, Nebraska kid. It's not like we had to go raid some high school in Texas or Florida to find Chris Dishman. Cozad, Nebraska. Adam True, Lincoln Pies, Fred Pollock, Creighton Prep. We were all developmental guys. It's not
that's
like
that's what I was going to bring up. You just said the key word, developmental. There's no development going on that position group right now. You can
turn Corcoran or Gatula or Teddy or Pritchett spearing guys and getting tossed. You're telling me you've got no one else that can stop a guy. That's scary that you don't have somebody else that can step in.
Okay, but if you're not being developed to step in, that's coaching. Development is coaching. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't develop guys.
Yeah, and I've tried to stay. I like Donnie. I've tried to stay very judicious in how I look and evaluate them. But at the end of the day, and like I said, now here's the other thing. I've never gone down to practice and watched practice. I haven't. So it's from a judgment standpoint, I hate to pass judgment when I haven't been there to watch directly. So take anything I'm saying with that particular grain of salt. But the product on the field, the end result, you're not seeing. You're just not. And That should be a reasonable bottom line, I think. I really think that should be a reasonable bottom line, that when you look at this and you look at that end product on the field, can you say the job's getting done when we're almost giving up double-digit sacks a game? I mean, in a game. I understand we're not – it's like 1 sack 1 week, 7 sacks the next, 1 sack, 9 sacks. There's zero consistency here. And and you would like to see, I mean, if we were giving up 3 or 4 a game, I'd tell you there's a little bit of an issue here, but it's easy to point out what the problem is. I mean, that's the other thing. There's zero consistency here, but giving up 9 sacks is a problem. Giving up 9 sacks shows that there is a lack. There is a lack of an development. There is a lack of this bottom line product you want to see out on the field. We're just not seeing it. And it's at some point you got to say, like, okay, at some point you got to look at the guy running the show there, and that's Donnie.
Is that the end?
Yep.
Okay, so couple of things. Number one, I'm not trying to limit what Travis Justice had to say. You could tell the times that he did chime in that clip where he's at. He was much more definitive, and I'm not trying to limit what he had to say. Like, you can kind of get a feel for where he's coming from, whereas Rob's trying to give the benefit of the doubt. Not that Travis isn't, but Travis is just like, this is where I'm at. Like, it stops with the guy coaching the O-line. Where Rob's being a little bit more patient, okay, things of this nature. Let's dive into it just a little bit more. When it comes to the recruiting, I'm going to disagree with Rob. I will say that. It was the only thing I disagreed with. When it comes to recruiting, just so you know, Elijah Pritchett, 5-star. Okay, you look at Turner Corcoran, Army All-American. You look at Teddy Prohaska, highly recruited guy, 4 or 5-star type guy. Grant Bricks, big-time recruit coming in, all right, as an offensive lineman. He's a young dude. Preston Tamua, I believe a 4-star out of Hawaii. Like, we've had highly recruited guys, talked about that before. Where I do agree with him is the development, the lack of development. Like, I've heard, it really hurt us when Rocco went out and when Pritchett went out. Understandably, you lose 40% of your starting offensive linemen, that's tough. You know who else lost 40% of their starting offensive linemen last year? We talked about this during the college football playoff. Do you remember?
Notre Dame?
Ohio State.
Ohio
frickin' State. Lost the Remington Award center. Their center won the Remington Award. Gone. Their left tackle. Gone. So the best center in America and the guy protecting your quarterback's blind side. Gone. They moved their All-American left guard out to left tackle. And I don't remember. I think their backup center came in. They won a national championship. So my point is, it's hard when you lose 40% of your offensive line, starting offensive line. You got to keep in mind, Elijah Pritchett was 3rd string going into the first game. So there's got to be somebody there. You got to have other guys as well. Why aren't younger guys ready to step up and play? Why isn't there a little bit more depth? Why isn't there development? And I'm pointing this out yesterday, Elijah Pritchett. We got through the transfer portal. Rocco Spindler, we got through the transfer portal. Some of these guys were, you talk about Corcoran and Prohaska. Like, these guys were here before Donnie got here. Donnie's been here longer than Matt Rule. He's been here longer than anybody. So he should have as much development and as much depth, especially as well as he's recruited, as any position group on the team. For the second year in a row, we have the most experienced position group on the team as the offensive line. And for the second year in a row, the experience on the offensive line is top 5 in America when it comes to games played and total starts combined. So recruited well, lots of experience. And 2 + 2 = 5, because it's not equaling 4, which is a consistent offensive line, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
So I thought Rob made a lot of great points. The development point was the one that I took away the largest from. Do you have any other takeaways from what Rob and Travis had to say?
No, it's just been it's been the talking point all week. It's obviously important this week here for Nebraska. I do think it's been interesting to see some of the reaction of everybody kind of giving their own 2 cents into it, because it's not all on the offensive line, as we know, but the offensive line has been a bit of a problem. And it's interesting to see just kind of over the years, because when Donnie started, it was kind of like, okay, They're making strides. It might not be huge strides year after year, but they're making strides. And I just don't feel like you're at that point now, right? And I've said it for the longest time, is that they relied on Benhart and Corcoran for the longest time. They couldn't, they brought guys in, they'd have chances here and there, but they kind of keep going back to those guys. You're wondering, at some point, you're going to have to recruit some other tackles. And here we are after Benhart leaves and Corcoran's already, a few injuries deeper than what he'd want to be. And Nebraska never found those guys. And but the crazy thing about it all is they built an offense around dropping back and passing. And so, I think that a big key to this week in any week moving forward is to embrace the running game. I understand their stats. They're whatever, top 17 in the nation in passing. I understand it's their strength. But Emmett Johnson's also hit another gear. Emmett Johnson's better than we've ever seen him, I think, in the last couple of weeks, if presented the opportunity with the ball. So we can point at the offensive line, we can point at the quarterback, we can point at the wide receivers, and I do. But at the same time, if it's all a problem, maybe it's the play calling as well.
So you make a great point, and you're going exactly where I was going. We hadn't talked much about the offensive line yet this week. That's why I wanted to talk about it. It's not just the offensive line. Is the offensive line play where it needs to be? No, it's not. It's not. But it is getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands faster. Prior to the Minnesota game, we were top 10 in the nation, with time allowed for the quarterback to throw the ball over 4 seconds. Just remember that. Just remember that. Top 10 in the nation, over 4 seconds, our quarterback had to throw the ball. Does that mean our offensive line, oh, wow, they're actually really good? No. It just means it's not all on the offensive line. Everything goes hand in hand. I've said a million times, if you can run the ball, you set up the play action pass. Now you can threaten the defense over the top, which makes them, they can't crowd the line of scrimmage. Then you can do the underneath passes. Now you can run the ball. Now you can do play action pass. Now you can do boots. You can do waggles. You can do zones. It all goes hand in hand. If the zone ain't working, I'm telling you right now, the waggle ain't going to work. Because the boot one way, roll back the other way. The defense ain't buying it. Play action pass isn't going to work. You aren't running the ball to begin with. So it all goes hand in hand. So is it all on the offensive line? Absolutely not. According to our good buddies and most trusted people under God's hot sun, Pro Football Focus, 5 of them were on the offensive line. Okay. I believe 3 on the running backs, and then 1 or 2 was on Dylan. According to the grades that are out there. So it all goes hand in hand. Final thought on the offensive line. It can be done. The best pass rushing team we faced all year. By the way, Northwestern has got about 2 or 3 guys you can get after the quarterback. The best pass rushing team we faced all year. We gave up 3 to Minnesota. We go back 3 to Cincinnati, 7 to Michigan, 5 to Michigan State, 1 to Maryland, top 5 pass rush team in the country, number 1 in the Big Ten at that point in time. And then Minnesota, who hadn't had a sack in 2 games, gets 9. So it can be done. How do you call the plays? Rule said we can't just sit here and call what we want to run. We have to call what we know will work. We have to run what works, not necessarily just what you want to do. If I want to eat cake all day, that's great. But I better expect to look in the mirror and, I'm going to see the results of that. So if I want to look in the mirror and see a certain result, what am I doing about it? And I know that's a whole topic for another day. I could pick another example. If you want to be good at shooting free throws, but you never shoot free throws, you're not going to be good at shooting free throws. You want to be good at shooting free throws, go shoot free throws. In other words, you've got to do what you're good at. You got to work at what you're good at, and you got to get good at it, and you got to run what your team is capable of running. If you're running what you want to do versus what you're best at doing, those can be the same thing, or they can be 2 completely different things. With the offensive line, it's not all on them. We got to get the ball out quicker. We got to be able to run the ball first. We got to be able to set up the pass. We got to be able to spread the defense out over the top just a little bit. We have no connection on our deep balls right now. There's like little to no connections with our deep balls, which is insane because Dylan RAIOLA has really good arm strength. And that was something he did really well in high school. Ja'Cory Barney and Dane Key have a combined 10 catches in the last 3 games. Combined between the 2 of them. Those are 2 of our 3 best receivers on the entire team. We got to find a way to get the ball to our playmakers. Emmett Johnson, Ja'Cory Barney, Dane Keene, Isaiah Hunter, anybody else you want to throw in there. But I will say this about the offensive line. Okay, the sacks aren't entirely on them. Should we be running I think we need to get the ball out. It's got to be out quick. We got to be running shorter routes. We got to be reading it better. We got to be stepping up in the pocket rather than trying to run around outside the pocket all the time. A little bit more pocket awareness, seeing the field a little bit better as the routes are developing, setting up the run so teams can't just tee off. We ran the ball 16 times against Minnesota. 13 of those were on first down. You want to talk about predictable. Hey, it's first down. They're going to run the ball. Second down, they're going to throw. Third and 10, they're going to throw. I mean, it just becomes predictable at a certain point. And I chatted about this with Bill Bush. When you're getting sacked a lot, let's say when you do pass on first down, which is probably why they don't do it a ton, but then you become predictable. If you're getting sacked 9 times, let's say it's first down. You get sacked for a 4 or 5 yard loss. Now it's second, 14 and 15. How often did Minnesota run the ball for 4 or 5 yards on first down? So they were like 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 7 at worst. We were like 2nd and 14, 2nd and 12, 2nd and 13. The difference is gargantuan in there. So you can't be predictable. You got to establish the run. You got to keep defenses off balance. You got to get the ball out quicker. You can't assume you're going to block anybody that you're going to play the rest of the year. Because I think we went into Michigan State and Minnesota assuming we could block them. Oh, we might have to do some things to counter Maryland's pass rush, and then look what happened. 1 sack, 34 points. But when it comes back to the offensive line, I also look at the rushing. And I know. Like I'm looking at the Minnesota game. You know, Dillon was sacked 9 times. Technically ran the ball 13 times total for minus 34 yards. So this comes away from the total. But we had 36 total rushing yards. Minnesota had 186. You start to dive into this a little bit more. When we ran the ball with Emmett versus Maryland, he had 176 yards, 8.4 yards per carry. Now, nobody else was very good. We need another running back to step up. You know, Northwestern is going to roll in here with 3 backs they can equally rotate, almost equally rotate. Why do so many teams have so many backs they can rotate? It's great that Emmett is great. Needs to improve his blocking, but why do we not have more guys we can rotate is my question. You go back to the last 3 games, and you look at our rushing. We averaged 2.2 yards per carry versus Michigan State. Versus Maryland, actually all the way up to 6.4. Ran for 193 yards because we came out and tried to establish the run. Versus Minnesota, 1.2. So 2.2, 1.2 in the one game we tried to run the ball and made it a focus, I should say. We ran it a lot better. A lot of times there aren't places, like a lot of times I'm not sure how Emmett finds a hole, to be honest with you. There aren't a whole lot of places for him to go. So the offensive line needs to create more holes, excuse me, in the run game, protect better in the pass game. Are all the coaches on the same page offensively? Because it kind of looks like maybe, maybe not. I mean, Rule talked about there were plays. See if I can find it here. All right. There's Holgerson. Dana Holgerson says of the first drive at Minnesota, the first 2 plays were run plays, were RPOs, run pass options attached. And Dillon had the option to throw there, hand it off, whatever. On the second of those, when he got sacked because no one was running a route, Holgerson says Isaiah Hunter missed a signal, didn't know he was to run a route. He blocked instead. Holgerson said that could have been a 70-yard touchdown. Why? So last year when guys were running open, largely the same guys we have in our secondary this year. John Butler was here last year as the secondary's coach. Now he's the defensive coordinator. We had guys running wide open against Rutgers and Illinois, and it's because guys weren't on the same page. Now all of a sudden we're on the same page. We have the number 1 pass defense in the country. Funny how that works. Our guys on the same page this year because now we've got offensive linemen who aren't communicating well. Let me repeat this. There were 10 free runners at our quarterback in the Minnesota game. A free runner means came through unblocked 10 times. Ran the ball 16 times. Think about that ratio. Ran the ball 16 times, and 10 of the times we threw the ball, there were free runners. Dillon attempted 25 passes in that game, by the way. Think about that percentage, 10 out of 25. There needs to be better communication with the receivers. There needs to be better communication with the backs. Rule set a back, didn't go to the flat on a particular route. He would have been open. Dylan had to hold the ball. He got sacked. So Isaiah didn't run a route. Dylan got sacked. Emmett didn't run a route to the flat. Dylan got sacked. We've got free runners to the quarterback. Obviously, that's not good. That's putting it mildly. They need to get on the same page. First and foremost, they need to get on the same freaking page, whatever the deal is. Is it all on the offensive line? No. I've said for years, offense puts butts in the seats, defense wins games, the trenches wins championships. Like, football starts up front. It starts up front. It starts up front. Now, Emmitt Smith, former Cowboys running back, Cardinals running back, NFL's all-time leading rusher. Great running back. Do you think it's any coincidence that the NFL's all-time leading rusher also ran what most people considered to be the greatest offensive line in the history of the NFL? They call it the Great Wall of Dallas during that Super Bowl 92, 93, 95. 3 out of 4 years they won the championship. There's also, to this day, most people would consider it to be the greatest offensive line in history. You got the Hog Mollies from the Skins of 91. You got that Great Wall of Dallas. You've got other lines throughout history. Most people put that line up top. You think there's just a coincidence? So the running game starts up front. Protecting the quarterback starts up front, but everybody's got to get on the same page. You got anything real quick?
No, I think we got to go to break.
Oh, crap. It's 12:30. You make a good point. All right. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
This is your year, where your team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Bombcars has a loyalty shopping event this Saturday. Loyalty Rewards members can save $50 on their purchase of $200 or more. You heard that right. Spend $200 or more on any merchandise of your choosing in the store, so no gift cards, and you'll save $50 instantly.
The $200 spend is pre-tax and cannot be combined with other discounts or offers.
Not a loyalty member? Just sign up today. It's all happening at Bombcars this Saturday only.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SauterHeyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Are you looking to upgrade your equipment and keep cash in your pocket? Through October at Landmark Implement, get up to a 24-month waiver on select John Deere tractors and combines. Or lock in a 2.9% fixed rate for 36 months, followed by a qualified standard rate for another 36 months. Whether you're thinking of this year's harvest or planning ahead, we've got a solution that works for your bottom line. Visit your local Landmark Implement for more details or check us out at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra-premium protein powder ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. It's the noon hour, and you know what that means. It is lunchtime here on the Adam Carriker Show on The Ticket, sponsored by our good buddies at Mulberry Barbecue. Now with two numero dos locations at 11th and Cornhusker and a 61st and Apples Way, right off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. Both locations are open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Try the burn-in sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, full slab of ribs, a half-smoked chicken, and much, much more, plus incredible sides. Get fueled for lunch today or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker and a 61st and Apples Way, just off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. Now, you've got a trivia question for me, and then we're going to play a Nick Saban clip, which feels, oh my gosh, it feels so freaking appropriate for this week, this game. Final thoughts on the offensive line. And I pointed out to you, do you realize that Donovan Raiola was hired the same time as Mark Whipple?
It's I didn't until you said that. I mean, I know the year, it just didn't, phrase that way. I didn't think of it that way.
Doesn't Whipple seem like it was 1,000 years ago?
It sure does.
So, final thoughts. There are things that would indicate the offensive line is not playing as bad as it appears. And I haven't looked since the Minnesota game. I'm going to assume we're not in the top 10 anymore, but top 10 in time allowed for the quarterback to throw the ball was over 4 seconds. I'm going to assume it's less since then. Okay, there's certain PFF grades, which I'm going to be honest with you. The one time when one of our tackles was named to the all-PFF team of the week, and I was like, what? Didn't he just allow like 2 sacks? And then you go look at the Pro Football Focus grades, and it says he allowed 0, and you watch the film, and there's too obvious. I'm just like, oh. But there are things that indicate it may not be as bad as it looks. That being said, Oh, it looks really bad. I mean, my goodness. Michigan State, 0 Power 4 sacks and 5 against us. Minnesota, 0 sacks their last 2 games, 9 against us. So, but you look at Maryland. Allowed 1 sack. Michigan. I mean, when I say the 7 sacks versus Michigan isn't that bad, I mean, think about that. You want to talk about things being relative. Good Lord. Hey, we only gave up 3 to Cincinnati. You know every defensive line's goal is to get 4 in a game. Not that far off, just FYI. So, it's not all doom and gloom. It's not as bad as it seems, but it's still pretty bad. We need everyone to get on the same page on that offense. We can't have wide receivers not running routes, costing us 70-yard touchdowns. We can't have running backs not going to the flat, costing us sacks. We can't have in the quarterback. I mean, I dissected a play that was screenshotted on Twitter. It was the time they had the 2-man rush with the nose guard spying over the middle, and they got the sack. Our 2 tackles got beat. Like, I don't know, it wasn't even a second. Dylan tries to escape outside. Step up. There's a gigantic hole. It's called a pocket. Like, step up into it. So it all goes hand in hand. Getting the ball out quicker, maybe adjusting how we call plays, what plays we run, the offensive line playing better, receivers breaking off routes quicker based on what's called, people knowing what routes they're supposed to run, people knowing when they're supposed to run routes, getting rid of the ball, throwing it away maybe once in a while, and pocket awareness. Like, it all goes hand in hand. Here's the amazing thing. We went on Saturday. We have the offensive line that's allowed the most sacks. We have the offense, because it all goes hand in hand. We have the offense with the most sacks of any team in the Big Ten. 131st in the entire country. And we could have won 75% of our games after Saturday. Think about that. So when I say it's not all doom and gloom, like, Michigan got mudhole stomped by USC. And then a very good Washington team, they went and kicked their butts halfway across the country at like 3 a.m. It was like 11. But if it was Central Time, it was late. They didn't make an excuse. And I'm not saying nobody over there has made an excuse this week from Nebraska. They've all said, hey, it's on us. My point is, no excuses. Back-to-back road games, Friday night game, whatever. Nobody said that. But Michigan said, we're going to get back to doing what we do. And that's why they did what they did to Washington after USC did what they did to Michigan. How do we respond? What do we do? What Rubik's Cube that we've already solved can we go back to and solve it quickly and roll forward with it? I don't know that we're all of a sudden going to be a dominant rushing team or dominant at stopping the run, but can we limit the run? Can we limit the run? Stay a great special teams unit. And can we at least establish the run? Create the threat of the run. Keep the defense off balance because they know we might run the ball because we have the Big Ten's leading rusher. And then we can do what we do, which is, let's be honest, we're a pass-first team, a defend-the-pass-first team, and we're going to try to out-athlete you, easy for me to say, type team. And that's okay, but you've got to establish other things, even if you're not phenomenal at those other things. All right, you have some trivia for me. Also, I'm dominating you in the college football picks. Is that not accurate?
Right now it is, yes.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay. I appreciate you giving that to me. You've got we're going to do the picks, including our final predictions for Nebraska versus Northwestern in the last segment. And you're like, hey, Adam, do you want to know the games we're going to pick? It's the first time, by the way, you've ever asked me.
That's right.
And I said no. I was like, just surprise me. So we're going to keep rolling with that. But what is your trivia question? And then let's play the Nick Saban clip, and we'll chat a little bit about RAIOLA, hopefully bouncing back this week a smidge.
All right. Well, Nebraska is 7-6 versus Northwestern in the Big Ten era, 6-6 against Pat Fitzgerald, if that matters. All-time series is 10-7, but just the Nebraska era here. I asked Austin, I asked Jake Sorensen the same thing, and they got the right answer on their third attempt.
Oh.
Which Northwestern quarterback has the most wins against Nebraska in the Big Ten era?
Do I get like multiple choice or something?
I can give you multiple choice.
Yeah,
if
multiple
you want
choice,
to.
man.
Okay. So I'll just name all the guys that have started for Nebraska in the Big Ten era. Dan Persa, Trevor Siemian, Kane Coulter, Clayton Thorson, Aiden Smith, Peyton Ramsey, Ryan Helinski, and Brennan Sullivan.
There were 3 in a row. All 3 of them, like Thorson. Who was before that?
Trevor Siemian, Kane Coulter, and Dan Persa.
Thorson.
That's correct. See?
I knew Thorson. It was one of those 3. Like, as soon as you said it, I was like, it's got to be a guy that was there forever.
Yes.
and a pretty good player. And I was like, it's one of those three. And then I was like, I think it's Thorson. All right, nailed it.
Yeah, good job. So Clayton Thorson, as sad as it is to bring up, was 3-1 against Nebraska as a starter. Trevor Siemian, the future NFL starting quarterback, remember, 0-2 starting against Nebraska, but 2-2 overall. You remember him and Kane Coulter were kind of swapping that job for a couple years. So that was kind of interesting. All right, from Nebraska side, which of these quarterbacks has the most wins? Taylor Martinez, Tommy Armstrong, or Adrian Martinez?
I just want to say Ron Kellogg because of the Hail Mary. I was like waiting for Ron Kellogg. Say him again, please.
As starters here.
Yeah.
Tommy Armstrong, Adrian Martinez, or Taylor Martinez. Yeah.
Tommy Armstrong.
That's correct.
Nailed it.
With a little bit of a help from Ron Kellogg, if you will, right?
Yeah.
3-1 as a starter for Tommy.
Yeah. See, I'm not half bad. You give me multiple choice. I got a shot. You make me pull it out of my keister, and I'm in trouble. So I appreciate that. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to save the Saban clip for the very end of this. I kind of got to go. I got to go a little bit quick now. As far as talking about Dylan. Now, through the first 4 games, I mean, the dude played really great, really good. I know that, I mean, he was like the number 2 passer in the Big Ten, top 5 in the country completion percentage. His touchdown interception ratio as of a couple weeks going into Maryland was better than 3-1. All right. Playing good ball. I know Akron and Houston Christian are in there. I'm going to remind people we're not the only people in the world who play the Akrons and Houston Christians of the world. Everyone wants to bow down to Kurt Signetti, and I get it. We bow down to nobody, but show them respect. They're like a third of their schedule is Akron and Houston Christian. So it's all relative, but he played well. And after the Maryland game, he threw 3 picks, but I was like, man, is he clutch? Because the clutch gene is a huge gene for a quarterback to have. But if you look at his last 3 games overall, I believe he had an 18 QBR versus Michigan State. I don't think I have to explain that that's not what you're looking for. 3 INTs, albeit a game-winning drive, which was ginormous versus Maryland, but still 3 INTs. You look at the Minnesota game, obviously not the performance anybody would have looked for, which is ironic to me because he just got added to some national quarterback watch list yesterday. So, again, it's not all good. It's not all bad. There's a lot of pluses and minuses, so to speak, for a lack of a better way to put it here. He's no longer, one of the top 5 leading passers in the Big Ten at this moment in time. He can obviously get back up there. But to me, it's one of those things where I look at Dylan. He's holding on to the ball a little bit, but the receivers aren't open. They aren't breaking off their routes. They're not running routes sometimes. But I would like him to be a little bit more efficient, a little bit quicker with his decision-making. If it's not there, he actually does have the ability to make people miss. He's not what I would call a track runner, but he's the guy that's got a little bit more wiggle than you would anticipate, and he can evade sacks. He's done it. He did it against Michigan a couple times. I mean, Rule said he evaded 3 or 4 last week versus Minnesota, which you and I said actually did not make us feel better as a whole, but we appreciate Dylan's got a little bit more wiggle. But the pocket awareness is something that would help step up in the pocket when it's there. It's hard when you're not a guy who's going to run, just outright run very often. And you're also, maybe guys aren't running the routes they're supposed to. That kind of hangs you out to dry. Or guys haven't broken their routes yet, or whatever the case may be. It's not quick routes. It can be a tough predicament to be in. Also, there's the option of throwing the ball away if you absolutely have to, if you absolutely need to. And if that's your ultimate option, based on everything I just described, it's what you've got to do. You got to do what's best for the team. Because 2nd and 10 is a lot better than 2nd and 15. Or maybe take off and run. Maybe you're not going to get 8, 9, 10 yards. You can get 2 or 3. 2nd and 7 is a whole lot better than 2nd and 14. So for me, it's not like Dylan's all of a sudden falling off a cliff, but you've got more turnovers, more interceptions, and seeing the field hopefully a little bit better. Making some quicker decisions would help. This is a guy, I put in the headline of this, just a little bit of a bounce back game. And what I really mean, I don't know that his confidence is as strong. His confidence wasn't as strong as I watched him versus Minnesota. Like, I was insanely impressed at Maryland, not because he threw 3 picks, but when he threw 3 picks and the pick 6, which gave Maryland 17 straight points, it put him up in the 4th quarter, 31-24. Dylan came right back. And in the last 7.5 minutes of the game, led us to a field goal and a game-winning touchdown drive. And on that game-winning touchdown drive, he was 4 or 5, threw for over 70 yards on the 81-yard drive and threw the game-winning touchdown. Like, I didn't see that same, there was no wincing. There was no hesitation in that. You ever seen the old meme? Kobe Bryant's guarding the guy out of bounds and the guy fakes throws it at his face and Kobe doesn't flinch for a millisecond. I have never looked at Kobe Bryant the same since that. Like, there was no flinch whatsoever. That is a rare kind of confidence. You can't fake that. And that's what I saw a little bit in Dillon at the end of the Maryland game, albeit the struggles in Michigan State. Wind, I get it. Both teams played with wind, although Aiden didn't throw very well either, but their backup came in and probably played the best of the 3 quarterbacks that day, Michigan State's backup. And you go to Maryland, obviously throw some picks, but man, there was no hesitation. There was no hesitation that last 7.5 minutes of the game. Versus Minnesota, he didn't look as confident. When you're not really running the ball and you're getting sacked and maybe guys aren't where they're supposed to be in their routes, I get it. I played for an 0-9 high school team. I know what it's, and I'm not saying this is apples to apples. Maybe this is apples to oranges, but it's all still fruit. I know what it's like to get the ball, run for my ever-loving life, have no receivers turning around and look at me. My senior year, we had 0 receivers who'd ever played football before, by the way. 0. 0 snaps of experience at wide receiver that I was throwing to going into my senior year. So there was multiple, I was bigger than all my linemen. I'm not saying I was, oh God, the best player. What I am saying is I got the ball, ran for my life, and then I'd look to throw, and sometimes they were not looking at me. I know what that is like. Take off, run somebody the heck over, light up your team, get out of bounds, throw the ball away, do what you can, and by God, somebody else has got to do something to help you out. But it starts with you. It starts with the quarterback. Even if it sucks, it still starts with you. He's a highly talented kid. He's highly intelligent. I'd love to see him lower his shoulder at some point. I'd love to see him, if he absolutely has to, get rid of the ball out of bounds. I don't want to see balls go out of bounds. I'm just saying if that's what you have to do, it's better than a sack or a pick. And just, I want to see that confidence come back. And it starts with everybody being on the same page, the offensive line picking everybody up, receivers running the right routes, running backs running their routes, picking up blitzes at least appropriately, and that will help the quarterback have a little bit more confidence, and then we can get back into that last 7.5 minutes of Maryland rhythm, even though there's probably still going to be some ugliness in between. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Are you looking to upgrade your equipment and keep cash in your pocket? Through October at Landmark Implement, get up to a 24-month waiver on select John Deere tractors and combines. Or lock in a 2.9% fixed rate for 36 months, followed by a qualified standard rate for another 36 months. Whether you're thinking of this year's harvest or planning ahead, we've got a solution that works for your bottom line. Visit your local Landmark Implement for more details or check us out at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting lincolnteammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today. If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. We got to move fast. But before we do, the Adam Carriker Show is sponsored by our good friends at Suizo Construction, where safety isn't just a policy, it is a promise. Suizo is hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, steel erectors who value quality work in a team that has your back both on and off the job site. Apply at Suizo.com. 40 years strong of business. Suizo Construction. That's SCHWISOW.com. Also, shout out to Hamilton Telecommunications, bringing you the latest in quality technology and communication services since 1901. Learn more about their residential and business services at HamiltonTel.com. All right, a couple of things quick before we get to our picks. So, Troy Dannon, earlier this week said, and I quote, because if you don't do it right, okay, you don't do the steps, that 15 will be 20 for basically he says he understands it's like year 15. I got to work on my handwriting, bro. Like, it's bad. So I know what he said. He basically said, he knows it's year 15 for Husker fans, but it's truly year 3 for Matt Rule. And if you don't build it right, it's going to suffer long term, basically is the paraphrase version of what he said. So I got a couple of thoughts here. First of all, I'm going to steal a line from Jake. He says it's not year 15, it's year 11. Don't crap on Bo Pelini. Thank you for that there,
Yeah,
Jake.
absolutely.
All right, here's my couple of thoughts on that. Number one, Kurt Cignetti, Arizona State, other schools across the country, make it harder for that to ring true. But it doesn't mean Dan is not right. He is right. Here's the problem. All offseason, we heard year 3 jump, college football playoff. Going to be great at this, and this. And all offseason, I said, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. You're shortening your own honeymoon period. And now you want more time when you shortened your own honeymoon period. All offseason. I get why he did it. Have I not been consistent with this?
Yeah,
I said, please stop. You can't say those things and then ask for more time at the same time. 2 + 2 does not equal 5. I'm just saying, I love Dannon. I love Rule. I love this program. But when I read that, I was like, wait, you can't have both things. 2 things can be true at once, but these 2 things are not true at the same time. In my humble opinion, I could be wrong. Let me know. All right, what else did I have here? We got, the text. You got a quick text. What was the text?
Yeah, quick question here. Adam, is there anything specific that you're seeing in the linemen and the way that their technique is playing out? Hand placement, footwork, strength, something like that? Rodney texted in.
So, this is something that Donovan said in a press conference, I want to say 2, if not 3 springs ago. He talked about knuckles up blocking. So if you can see, I know you can't see me if you're not watching on YouTube or TV or whatever, but if you can, knuckles up blocking is like thumbs in, fingers to the sky, knuckles up. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. I'd never heard that before in my life. Donovan, we played against each other in the league in practices a lot. He was an all Big Ten type center. His brother won the Remington Award, so I'm like, far be it from me to question those guys. I'd always heard thumbs up. Thumbs up. First of all, it's easier to grab the breastplate and hold. Number two, it's much easier to do it and not get caught. Number three, it's how you block. Thumbs up. Knuckles in. He said knuckles up. I haven't addressed it since because honestly, I was trusting them and I haven't looked into it since. It never made sense to me. I'm a defensive lineman. But if somebody tried to block me like that, I'm going to be honest with you, I would not be extra concerned. I might be extra excited. But again, that is what they do. Dominic, Donovan, and so I trusted them. To address it, I don't know if he's still coaching that way, but it's an interesting way of doing it. Knuckles up, which is the exact opposite of thumbs up as far as where you're gripping guys when you're blocking them. I'd be curious to learn more. And now that this season's playing out the way it is, I think it's time I quit just saying I trust it, and I need to educate myself and learn a little bit more about it. Let's play the clip. Let's do our picks. We'll get out.
All right, here's this clip is from Nick Saban.
Horror guy that you know in all these horror films that I use the example all the time is I asked the players one time, who is the number one horror guy that you know in all these horror films that you see? Unanimous, man, Freddy Krueger. Why? Keeps coming back. You can't kill the sucker. He keeps coming back. You can't kill him. And he never shows in his eye that you're getting the best of him. So whether you get beat on the play or you don't get it, you come back and you dominate the guy the next play. And you do it with an intensity and a toughness and an effort that the guy can't sustain and match for 60 minutes in the game. And that's how you play.
That makes so much sense to me. Freddy, you can't kill Freddy Krueger. Also, he's in your nightmares. I mean, how much worse? You can't go to sleep. I remember I was a kid. I was like 5 or 6. My older sister, Carrie, who's about 15 years older than me, was in high school, had friends over. She was watching a scary movie. She's like, Adam, go to your room. Don't come out. Of course. So I came out. And it's Freddy Krueger, like slashing everybody to pieces. I have been scared to death. Well, not anymore. But I was scared to death of Freddy Krueger and Nightmare on Elm Street for like a decade, dude. It scarred me for life, and I blame my sister, even though it was my fault. But he's right. Freddy Krueger just keeps coming back. You want to be good at something, keep coming back. You want to beat Northwestern? Hey, Minnesota sucked. Learn from it, move on, and hit Minnesota in the mouth, and don't flinch, just like Freddy Krueger doesn't show you nothing. That's why I love that clip. What games are we picking here, Jake?
All right, let's get to the games. Number 8, Ole Miss at number 13, Oklahoma. Oklahoma favored by 4.5.
Maybe I should have prepped a little bit for this because that's a tough one to me. Is Mateer, he's back.
Yeah.
Oh, are they is one off a bye week? Is Oklahoma off a bye week?
That I don't know.
Yeah, this is my bad. I chose not to prep, so I'm going to go with an unprepped answer. Here's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the fact that I don't entirely trust Oklahoma yet. They got curb stomped by Texas. I'm going to go with Ole Miss.
Yeah, I'm going Ole Miss as well. Let's go to Missouri and Vanderbilt. Missouri number 15, Vanderbilt number 10, and Vandy favored by 2.5.
I'm going Vandy.
Yeah, I like that pick. I'm going Vandy as well. How about Texas A&M, number 3 at number 20, LSU?
Yeah, LSU's going down the toilet, unfortunately. I actually root for Brian Kelly. It's harder since he left Notre Dame. Said you can't win a title there that Marcus Freeman almost did. By the way, Penn State, Florida, want Marcus Freeman. I'm going to go who's LSU?
A&M?
Yes, I'm going A&M.
I'm going to go with LSU. I think that's the upset of the week.
All right.
Let's go to the game that I'm going to, Minnesota and Iowa, the battle of the Floyd of Rosedale.
Why? Like, we want people to listen to this show. Okay, I'm going to say it again, and this is going to hurt my feelings as well as everyone who hears this. Minnesota's not that good. Iowa wins.
I'm going Iowa as well. We got about 20 seconds. Nebraska, Northwestern. I'll begin my pick first. I think Nebraska wins. Close one, 24-21.
This is a rock fight. This is a knockdown, drag out, physical, blue collar, in your face, smash mouth, phone booth type of football game. And Nebraska better embrace that. The good guys bounce back because there is something a little bit different, not great, but different about this team than recent years. Nebraska in what's going to be probably a very ugly game, but it'll be beautiful as long as the good guys score one more point than the other guys. Good guys 20, other guys 17. Anything else?
All right, that's it.
And I'm leading Jake by 3 in our picks. Go, Big Red. Always remember to throw the bow.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology,